Hello, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and welcome back to my official channel.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and welcome back to my official channel. So I am sitting here at my keyboard at some ungodly hour of the night. My coffee is completely cold. My eyes are burning from staring at this screen for way too long. But I have a deadline, and the news just keeps pouring in about this week's episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful. And I just have to get all these thoughts out of my head before I completely lose my mind. Because the drama that is happening right now is just absolutely off the charts. It is messy. It is chaotic. It is everything we love about this show. But it is also just so incredibly frustrating to watch these characters make the absolute dumbest decisions possible. So I am just going to dump all my thoughts right here, raw and unfiltered, because I do not have the energy to make this sound pretty or perfect. I am just typing furiously to get this out to you guys. And let us just start with Friday's episode, March 27, because we really need to talk about Hope Logan Spencer and her completely exhausting conversation with Liam Spencer. So Hope is just sitting there in the cabin, and she is opening up to Liam. And for once, they are not talking about Katie Logan Spencer and Eric Forrester and that whole massive fashion house war that is tearing the families apart. No, they are talking about Deacon Sharp, because Hope is just absolutely obsessing over her father's love life again. And it is just so typical. Hope, she just cannot let things go. She is so worried about Deacon's marriage to Sheila Carter Sharp, and I get it. I really do. Sheila is a monster, or at least she was a monster. But Hope is just hyper fixating on this idea that Deacon can do better than Sheila. And Hope really thinks that Taylor Hayes is the perfect woman for her dad, which is just wild when you actually think about it. Because Taylor is Steffi's mom, and Steffi hates Deacon, and Steffi absolutely loathes Sheila, and Steffi has already threatened to completely cut Taylor out of the family if she keeps seeing Deacon, but Hope does not care about any of that. Hope just wants her dad to be happy, and she thinks Taylor is the magic solution to all of Deacon's problems. But Steffi is convinced that Sheila will literally target her entire family if she finds out about this affair. And Steffi's probably right, because Sheila is Sheila, but Hope is just living in this fantasy world where Deacon and Taylor can just ride off into the sunset together. And it is just so naive. But then we have Liam, and Liam is actually making sense for once, which is a total shocker. I mean, normally Liam is just flip-flopping all over the place, but right now he is actually being the voice of reason, because Liam tells Hope that he has actually learned to tolerate Sheila, and Liam would never in a million years say that Sheila is actually safe, because nobody is ever truly safe around Sheila. But Liam points out that Sheila has been on her best behavior for a really long time now. And he brings up this really interesting point. He says that at some point a villain is reformed for so long that they just become who they are now, like the good behavior becomes their actual personality. And that is a huge thing for Liam to admit, because Liam has seen the worst of Sheila. Liam knows what Sheila is capable of, but he is looking at the facts. Sheila has been running Il Giardino. She has been serving pizzas. She has been a loyal wife to Deacon. She has not shot anyone in a really long time. So Liam is just trying to get Hope to see that maybe Sheila is not the immediate threat that Hope thinks she is, but there is just no convincing Hope. Hope is stubborn. Hope has her mind made up. And Liam is actually getting worried. Liam warns Hope that she and Deke Sharp need to stop pushing Deacon so hard. Liam says they need to just leave Deacon alone and let him make his own decisions, because pushing a guy like Deacon usually just makes him do something stupid, and boy does Deacon do something stupid. Which brings us to Thursday's episode, March 26th, because Deacon is just an absolute fool. I am sorry, but he is. Deacon makes plans to be with Taylor. He wants to have a secret date with her, but he has a massive problem He is married to Sheila, and Sheila lives with him. And Sheila is going to notice if her husband just disappears for the entire night. So what does Deacon do? He lies. Of course he lies. That is what Deacon does best. He tells a massive lie to his wife so she will not wonder where he is. And the lie he chooses is just so incredibly dumb. Deacon tells Sheila that he is going to hang out with Hope. He uses his own daughter as an alibi. He tells Sheila he has plans with Hope so that Sheila will just back off and let him leave the apartment. And Sheila believes him because why wouldn't she? Sheila knows that Deacon loves Hope. Sheila knows that Deacon wants to spend time with his daughter. So Sheila just smiles and lets him go. And Deacon thinks he is a genius. Deacon thinks he has just pulled off the crime of the century. He thinks he is totally in the clear to go sneak around with his former therapist. But Deacon has no idea the chain of events he has just set into motion, because lies always catch up with you on this show, always. So while Deacon is spinning this web of lies, we have a completely separate situation happening over at Il Giardino. And this is where the writing just gets so messy and so clunky, but also so brilliant. Because Lee Finnegan decides to meet up with Sheila. Yes, Lee Finnegan, the woman who hates Sheila more than anyone else on the planet, the woman who literally kept John Finnegan alive in a secret hospital bed while Sheila thought she had murdered her own son in a dirty alleyway. Lee and Sheila are just sitting at a table having a catch-up chat. I mean, let that sink in. The history between these two women is so dark and so violent, but here they are just chatting over breadsticks, and Lee is the one who drops the bomb. Lee is the one who accidentally hands Sheila the exact information she needs to ruin everything. Lee tells Sheila some very significant news. Lee says that Steffi and Finn and Kelly Spencer and Hayes Finnegan have all decided to pack up and go on a short overnight trip together, a little family vacation, because the doctor and the Forrester co-CEO work so hard and they definitely deserve a little downtime. Between the work stress and the family drama, they just needed to get away. So they packed up the kids and left town. And Sheila is just sitting there listening to this. And Sheila is naturally curious because Sheila is always fishing for information about her son and her grandchildren, even though she is banned from seeing them. So Sheila asks Lee a very simple question. She asks if Taylor Hayes went on the trip with them, and Lee says no. Lee clarifies that it was strictly a family outing for Steffi and Finn and the kids, and Lee confesses that Taylor remained behind. Taylor is all alone at the Cliff House, and this is the moment where everything shifts, because Lee has no idea that she just handed Sheila a loaded gun, metaphorically speaking, because Sheila hears this and she actually feels bad. Sheila appears visibly concerned about Taylor being all alone. And this is the part that just makes my brain hurt, because Sheila is completely in the dark about the mutual attraction between Taylor and her husband, Deacon. Sheila has absolutely no clue that Taylor and Deacon have been sneaking around and kissing in offices. Sheila thinks Taylor is her friend. Sheila thinks Taylor is this wonderful person who helped save her life. And we really have to go back and look at the history here to understand why Sheila feels this way. Because Sheila and Taylor actually have this crazy bond. They literally saved each other's lives. Remember when Sheila was so depressed because she thought she killed Finn? She was standing on the edge of the hospital roof. She was getting ready to jump. She was going to end it all. And Taylor was the one who spotted her. Taylor, whose own daughter, Steffi, was lying in a coma in that very same hospital because Sheila shot her. Taylor actually stepped out onto that roof and tried to talk Sheila down. And Taylor slipped. Taylor was dangling off the edge of the building about to fall to her death. And Sheila bravely stepped up and grabbed Taylor's wrist and pulled her back up onto the roof. So they have this massive trauma bond. Sheila genuinely believes that she and Taylor share a special connection. Sheila still has friendly feelings towards her daughter-in-law's mother, even though Taylor apparently does not have any friendly feelings for Sheila at all, because Taylor is actively trying to steal Sheila's husband, but Sheila does not know that. So Sheila's just sitting there at Il Giardino thinking about poor lonely Taylor sitting all by herself at the big empty cliff house. And Sheila decides she wants to do a good deed. Sheila decides she wants to keep Taylor company, especially since Deacon just told her that he is busy hanging out with Hope. Sheila thinks she has a free night. So she decides to go surprise Taylor so that neither of them has to spend the evening alone. And it is just so tragic and so ironic. Sheila believes she is doing a really good thing. She thinks she is being a supportive friend when no one else is available. She goes out and buys a beautiful bouquet of flowers. She is getting ready to drive over to the cliff house to just be a nice person. But little does she know that her husband is already on his way over there because Deacon is a liar and a cheat. So let us talk about Taylor for a second, because Taylor is just being so reckless right now. Taylor promised her daughter Steffi that she would steer clear of Deacon. Steffi laid down the law. Steffi told Taylor that if she did not end things with Deacon, she would be cut off from the family. Steffi vowed to shove Taylor out of the picture, which would mean losing her relationship with Steffi and Hayes and Kelly. Steffi was not playing around. Steffi is terrified of Sheila finding out and going off the rails and putting the kids in danger. So Steffi enforced this strict rule: stay away from Deacon, but when the cat is away, the mice will play. That is exactly what happens. As soon as Steffi and Finn and the kids drive off for their overnight camping trip, Taylor gets right on the horn. She calls Deacon. She lets him know that the coast is clear. She tells him she has the house completely to herself for the entire evening. It is the perfect opportunity for them to spend some quality time alone together. And Taylor just throws all of Steffi's warnings right out the window. Taylor's passionate desires are just way stronger than her ability to think logically and recognize the massive risks she is taking. So Deacon rushes over to the cliff house, and they are completely alone. And they do not waste any time. The B&B weekly preview shows us exactly what happens. Deacon and Taylor get right down to business. They are in Taylor's bedroom, and Taylor is stripped down. She is wearing only a bra and panties. And Deacon is right there with her. And they are rolling around on the bed. And Deacon actually says to her, I fought this as hard as I could, but nothing is going to keep us apart. And then they start making out heavily. They are making love for the first time. They are finally crossing that line. They are hitting the sheets. And it is just so gross when you think about it, because they are doing this in Steffi's house, the house where Steffi lives with her husband and her children, the house that Steffi graciously allowed Taylor to stay in. And Taylor is using it as a cheap motel to hook up with the husband of the woman who shot Steffi. It is just a massive level of disrespect. Steffi would be absolutely sick to her stomach if she knew what was happening under her roof right at this very moment. But Steffi is out in the woods camping, completely oblivious to the betrayal happening back home. But someone is not oblivious. Someone is right outside the door, because while Deacon and Taylor are sweating it up in the bedroom, Sheila arrives. Sheila pulls up to the cliff house with her lovely bouquet of flowers. She walks up to the front door. She is probably smiling. She is probably thinking about what a nice surprise this is going to be for Taylor. She knocks on the door, but there is no answer, because Taylor and Deacon are way too busy to hear a knock at the door. And thankfully for them, the door is locked, because if it was unlocked, Sheila would have just barged right in and caught them dead to rights in the living room. But the door is locked. So Sheila does not just turn around and walk away like a normal person would. No, Sheila is persistent. Sheila peers into the window. She is standing there peering through the glass, holding her flowers. And the preview clip shows her face popping up at the window right while Deacon and Taylor are getting passionate. And this is where the tension is just absolute torture. Because what exactly can Sheila see from that window? The layout of the cliff house is tricky. Can she see all the way into the bedroom? Can she see the bed? Can she see Deacon? The official Facebook page of B&B strongly implied that Sheila does find out the truth this week. The spoilers say Sheila is poised to make a shocking discovery. And if Sheila sees Deacon in that bed with Taylor, it is going to be the explosion of the century. Because Sheila is not usually dense. Sheila is actually very smart and very calculating. If she sees a man in there with Taylor, she is going to know something is up, even if Deacon tries to hide. And let us be real, it would be just like Deacon to scramble and hide under the bed or in the bathroom the second he hears Sheila calling out. Which is incredibly ironic since that is exactly where Sheila used to hide when she was a fugitive living in Deacon's tiny apartment. Oh, how the tables have turned. But if Sheila plays this smart, she could destroy them both. If Sheila figures out that Deacon is cheating on her, she could literally end up taking everything from him. She could end up with Il Giardino. She could take all the business assets he has been working so hard on. She could leave him penniless and alone. But the bigger question is, will she return to her old ways? Will losing the love of her life be enough to push Sheila back over the edge into total psychotic villain territory? Because Liam just got done telling Hope that Sheila is reformed. Liam just said she is safe now, but hell hath no fury like a Sheila Carter scorn. If Sheila catches them in the act, she is not going to just cry and file for divorce. She is going to plot revenge, and her revenge is always deadly. And Steffi's worst nightmare is going to come true. Steffi warned Taylor that this would happen. Steffi said Sheila would target the family. And now Taylor has literally invited the devil right to their front doorstep because she just could not keep her hands off a guy who makes pizzas and lies to his wife. It is just so pathetic. And my fingers are seriously cramping from typing all of this, but I cannot stop thinking about the fallout, because what happens when Steffi comes home from camping, Steffi is going to find out about this. Whether Sheila actually busts them or if Taylor just acts guilty and confesses, Steffi is going to know. And Steffi is going to flip out. Steffi is going to insist she cannot have Taylor living on her property if she is going to create such a scary situation. Steffi is going to enforce that family ban. She is going to throw Taylor out. She is going to tell her own mother that she cannot be around Hayes and Kelly anymore because Taylor is selfishly inviting danger into all their lives. And Taylor will have no one to blame but herself. She literally threw away her relationship with her daughter and her grandkids for a roll in the hay with Deacon Sharp. It is mind-boggling. And Deacon is going to lose everything too. He is going to lose Sheila. He is probably going to lose his restaurant. He is going to lose Hope's respect when she finds out he lied to Sheila by using her as an alibi, because Hope is going to be furious that Deacon dragged her into his messy cheating scandal. Hope just wanted him to be happy with Taylor. She did not want him to lie and sneak around like a rat. So everyone is going to lose in this situation. Everyone, except maybe Sheila, because Sheila might just become the victim in all of this, which is the craziest plot twist of all. Sheila Carter, the ultimate villain, is going to be the poor, wronged wife. And people might actually feel sorry for her. I mean, I kind of feel sorry for her right now. She just wanted to bring flowers to a lonely friend. And instead, she is getting stabbed in the back by the two people she actually trusted. It is wild. And I just do not know how they are going to write themselves out of this corner. The writers have just created this massive powder keg, and they are about to light the match. And I am here for it. I am exhausted, but I am here for it. I will be glued to my screen watching every single second of this train wreck unfold, because you know the acting is going to be phenomenal. The look on Deacon's face when he realizes his wife is at the window, the panic in Taylor's eyes, the slow realization on Sheila's face as the betrayal sinks in. It is going to be soap opera gold. And I am just going to keep typing until I literally pass out. Because there is so much more to say. But I think I have covered the main points: the lie, the flowers, the hookup, the window, The impending doom. It is all just perfectly orchestrated chaos, and I love it, but I also hate it because I want these characters to be smart. But if they were smart, we would not have a show. So I guess we just have to accept the clunky decisions and the messy drama and enjoy the ride. So yeah, that is my raw, unfiltered take on what is happening right now. I am tired, I am drained, but I am ready for the fallout. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen. Do you think Sheila will go crazy again? Do you think Steffi will really kick Taylor out? Do you think Deacon will end up homeless and alone? It is all up in the air right now, and I cannot wait to see how it all crashes down. All right, I am done. I am logging off. I need sleep, but I will be back with more updates as soon as my brain recovers from this absolute madness.